So welcome to Ego, the skill provider. So let's focus on basics. We could not conduct the class yesterday due to some problems. But let me today, I have come up with a very, very fantastic topic. I'm sure you are going to get a lot of benefit out of it, right? So let me tell you, whenever you're trying to speak English, everybody who are before me right now, Devjan Imam, Mustikan Shah, Ashok Shah, Dev Shah, Ashish Shah, a lot of people are there with me. So let me, your main intention joining Ego, the skill provider, you want to speak English. That's all. There's nothing. The problem is that how to accomplish it. The first things I have already given you that you are supposed to take the tense and time very seriously. I believe you are already taken that. The second thing is something called collocation. That's the extension process of rectifying a mistake. You are trying to make some mistakes. You don't know where you are making mistakes. But if you know collocation, obviously certain mistakes will be completely wiped out. And that's exactly happening. And the third thing is called vocabs. And that's where we are stuck right. Vocabs is, it's not a one day affair. It's a continuous things that is going to happen. It may take years together to have a good area of vocabulary. So whenever I'm trying to push to the roles for perfect vocabulary, I don't think so 1 day, 2 day, 3 days, 4 days enough for you. So what's the way out? What's the way out? You guys can speak English very confidently without vocabs. Not possible, right? So you have to get some vocabs as soon as possible, right? So that's why my entire focus is right on how to give you vocabs because vocabs is the raw building blocks of your spoken English career. If you want to speak English, you should know vocabs. Times and time, collocation, everything has been given to you. Right now, we are centered around something called vocabs. If you don't know vocabs, I'm sure you are not able to speak English perfectly. So, for quite over the past few days, my focus is on how to give you some good area of vocabs, right? So, day for yesterday we could not conduct any class. Day for yesterday, it was something called, I believe, something called everyday vocabs, right? Everyday vocabs, phrasal verbs I've given you. But today, I'm going to focus something called advanced. So, advanced vocabs means how to describe a person. Suppose I'll give you a description and you have to describe that person. And this is my, you know, this is the screen before you. Just check it out. What exactly I mean. And this is something I want to give you. This is something I want to give you today. Okay. This is something called 10 everyday advanced vocabs. How to describe a person. Suppose you want to describe me, you want to describe yourself, you want to describe anybody. If you know a little bit, if you know the nature, the way they align to a particular work. But think is that how to describe a person. So sometimes you are not able to get me, but once I'll give you one example, you can understand. This is the something called my first. This is something called my first. Okay, just check it out. Just check it out. What you can check it out. Just check it out. Here, what I have given you. 1 minute, please. Right. Check it out. A person who is obsessed with exercise and keeps himself fit. It may happen every day. Few of you. It may be Dev Shah, maybe Ashish, maybe anybody who are just before me. So you guys are very much interested to have exercise every day and keep yourself fit. You always feel like that you love exercise. I mean, you always have a schedule for something called workout. You always hit gym. Why? To keep you in shape. Basically, you want to keep yourself fit. So how you are going to describe that person? You can say that he is a fitness freak. I am a fitness freak. So in place of using the long sentence, a person who is always with exercise in himself or herself fit, I always love exercise. I always, whenever I'm getting fine, I'm getting time, I always spend that particular time in gym and other things. No need of telling that. Use a vocab that is called fitness freak. Whenever I say fitness freak, that means you love exercise. That means you really love it very much. Whenever you always feel that my body is just like a temple. If I want to take care of my health, everything will fall in line. So health is wealth. So your motto is health is wealth, and that's called fitness fit. You can understand, like, in our team, Indian cricket team, there's so many fitness fit. Pandya, Virat Kohli, these guys are fitness fit. They always hit the gym most of the time. They always keep them in shape, right? No extra body flaps and something like that. They always maintain some. So whenever you are trying to maintain your health, whenever you feel that it's the right time for me to hit the gyms, to eat, your intake of food is completely regulated. You are not going out or dining with your friends, something like that. That means you always take care of your health. Then you become a fitness freak. And that's the word I want you should remember. And let me tell you, my friends, why it is important. These days, nobody is, whenever you're trying to speak English, basically, you are supposed to speak English such way that you are going to attract somebody. You are going to impress somebody. It is all about impression based. ଛୋଟିଆ କଥାଟେ କହିବି ଆପଣମାନଙ୍କୁ ଓଡ଼ିଆରେ so that you can relate it. Basically, ଆମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ English କହିବା ପାଇଁ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କରୁଛୁ, whenever you are trying to speak English, believe me that ଆପଣ ଜଣକୁ attract କରିବା ଦରକାର. It's not about, listen carefully, ଆମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ English ଟା କହୁଛନ୍ତି, whenever you are trying to speak English, କେବଳ ଯେ tense and time ଥିଲେ, you are not going to impress somebody. It is all about understanding the situation. It is all about representing the situation. It is all about body language and the words that you use frequently. It is all about the words that you use frequently. Let me give you, suppose I say, my brother always loves to hit the gym. He is always looking after his body. He always taking medicine every time. He's always doing like this. He's always doing like that. So who is going to listen that things? He is going to listen like this. It is all about a single word that is called a fitness freak. So whenever I say fitness freak, that means that person is very obvious. Whenever I say obvious means you are very much interested in something. You are very much interested. Suppose some of you are obsessed with English. That means you love English very much. The meaning is like that. He's obsessed with exercise and keep himself or herself fit. Most of the time, they are trying to go here and there. That is something called fitness fit. Okay. So the first one that you are supposed to remember, this is something called an advanced vocabs. And the advanced vocabs is something called the fitness fit. Let me tell you the pronunciation once more. It is something called the fitness freak. Fitness freak means a person who is always, taking out time for workout, always keeping his body fit and other things. That is called a fitness freak. Okay, this is my first things. Let me give you the second example. Here is my second example. What you can find it out. Look, there's so many plates are there with some delicious food on the, on the table, on the dining table. Okay, so remember, a person who loves food and very much interested to taste different types of food. Most of people are like, right? Suppose some of you are very choosy, and some of people are very much interested for any kind of food. They love food. It's not about. Let me tell you another word. Something called, you know, it is something called a glutton. Whenever I say glutton, let me tell you, I'm going to write that word here so that you can easily understand. Here is another word is there, that is something called glutton. Whenever I say glutton, it is something called glutton. Glutton means who eats a lot. Okay. Whenever I say glutton, glutton is something different than foodie. Try to understand the difference. Glutton means who eats a lot of food. That's a glutton. But whenever I say foodie, Foodie means a person who loves food and very much interested to taste different types of food. ଆପଣ ଦେଖିଥିବେ ଅନେକ ଗୁଡ଼ିଏ ୟୁଟ୍ୟୁବ ଚ୍ୟାନେଲ ଅଛି ଯୋଉଟା କି ମାନେ ଅନେକ ଗୁଡ଼ିଏ ୟୁଟ୍ୟୁବର ବିଭିନ୍ନ ଜାଗାକୁ ଯାଇ ଫୁଡ ଟେଷ୍ଟ କରନ୍ତି. So they are not taking this much of thing. They are taking small amount of thing, trying to taste it and they tell this is dhaba. এই ঢাবাটাରେ ଆପଣ ଆସନ୍ତୁ ଆମେ ଏଇଠି ଢାବା ଟିକେ ଆସି. That is called foodie. They are called foodie. Some of you are very much interested also. Like, no, suppose you are going here and there to taste food here and there. That means you become a foodie, not a glutton. Glutton is a very negative word, whereas foodie is a positive word. Suppose you can ask me, sir, are you a foodie? Yes, I'm a foodie. I love to taste different. Look, if you're going for a food, you are going for anywhere. I mean, you are trying to roam around the world. So we have continental food, we have Chinese food, we have Mexican, we have something called like Indian flavors also. So whenever you have all the things, all the dishes you like, that is something called foodie. Okay, so just check it out. A person who loves food and very much interested to taste different types of food, that is something called a foodie, not a glutton. A person who eats this much of things always ଆମେ ଯୋଉଟା କହୁଛନ୍ତି ମାନେ ପ୍ରଚୁର ପରିମାଣରେ ଯେ ଖାଏ you can say glutton and that's a negative word. Sometimes you know some of your friends is very looking very bulky because eating this much of things. You can say, hey, man, he's a glutton. He can eat anything, whatever comes in his way. But whenever foodie, he loves food. Loving food is not taking food. You know, I like a lot of foods. I can take small amount of food from everything. So that is called a foodie. These days, any foodie corner, something like that. It is, look, I have given some example. My friend is a foodie. The newly inaugurated restaurant is a paradise for foodies. So you can say, like, whenever you like something, like some food, like I like Rajasthani food, I like Bihari food. Like, I have went, almost I have gone different parts. I've been to different parts of the country in my earlier when I was working in the corporate sector. So I have the luxury of tasting different food. I can tell you, oh, this is you like this food. In Rajasthan, this is the food. In Delhi, this is the food. In Goa, this is the food. So whenever you have tasted so many different foods and you love it, that is called a foodie. Okay. So the second word for today you have to remember is something called foodie. Foodie means you love food and try to taste different kind. Okay. This is the second one. And just check it out. This is the third one. What you can check it out? You can very much check it out. Look, this is quite interesting for you. Like, so few people are partying, right? Few people are partying, right? Party is something you have a birthday party, some marriage party, like you have marriage anniversary, you have friendship anniversary, you have a college function, you are going for a party. So party is everywhere. Party is everywhere. Who cannot deny? Party is something that everybody is interested, right? Suppose you have a party. You suppose you are a businessman, like you got a tender, today you have a party. So party becomes very, all I can say, like it's a new form of social activity. If you're not throwing a party to anybody, so you have a less friends. You are throwing party, you have more friends. So party is something called, like, it's very common these days. But what I want to tell you, a person who loves parties and nightlife and other social activities. The few friends of you also might be you, I don't know personally. So they love parties actually. Whenever there's a party, they will be in the forefront. Yes, sir. Today we have a party. Nightlife. They always roam at night, enjoying their days in pubs, bars, and every time. And other social activities. Other social activities can be a birthday party. It can be something, a marriage function, something like that. It's a party, of course, right? Suppose some of your friends got selected to UPSC and you guys are going for a party. So, or a person like, your friend's son or daughter got a first class in somewhere else or got some scholarship, like there is a party. So, party is not about liquor and other things. Party is any kind of party. Dancing, you are going for a party and you're dancing. It's not necessarily that you have to consume alcohol. Nobody's telling like so I mean to the party, very well. So whenever somebody loves party, nightlife, and other same kind of social activities, you can call that guy is a party animal. So it's nothing to, it's not a negative word actually. Animal is something called a negative word. You can say, my God, he's telling me animal. No, party animal is entirely different from animal, right? So you can say tiger is an animal. Whenever say I say party animal, I can say I'm a party animal. That means I love all kinds of party. Whenever there's a party, I'm always for fun. In any party organization happens, no, I will be there. So that is something called I love this party. Something like that. I love nightlife. I love all the social gatherings. Mingling with friends is my hobby. So that person you can call party animal, right? So look, the first one is called fitness freak. Don't say that he's always healthy. Why you will tell? Just is a fitness. How it becomes healthy? ଜଣେ healthy କେମିତି ହଉଛି? Because he's taking right kind of food. He's always, doing all. He's taking the time for workout. He's always taking the right kind of food for his body. So everything is going fine. That's why he has a very good body. You take any Bollywood superstars, they are able to maintain their body. How? They are called fitness freak. Take any of our cricketers or football players, Messi, Ronaldo. You can say they have a very good. All the heroines and heroes, let me tell you, in any industry, they always maintain a good physique. How it's possible? Because they always hit out gyms. They always hit out gyms, and that is something called fitness freak, right? The second things I call foodie. So whenever I say called foodie, that means you love food, all kind of continental, Chinese, everything. You are trying to taste all the food. You are not eating this much of thing. You are trying to taste it, and that's the feelings you combo. This one is good. That one is good. This one is bad. That one is bad. So whenever I ask somebody, you have an area of information that is called a foodie, and something called party animal. So party animal is loves party. You are going out mingling with friends, then it's called a party animal. Let me give you the fourth word for today. That is something called look. There is a girl and there is a bookshelf behind her, like just behind her. And what he's doing, he keeps on reading. So you can say that some of you guys loves reading books. Loves reading. It books means not about textbook. It can be a textbook. It can be magazine. It can be any kind of books. Even you are reading newspaper every day. You are reading a lot throughout the day. Then you can say suppose you are spending 5 to 6 hours a day for reading something. Then I can see you are bookworm. Bookworm. Okay. So bookworm is something a person who loves reading a lot. I have seen people maybe your father or those who have retired person, they have a long area of books. They put it and they are going morning to evening, they are reading. So you can say they are called the bookworm. So whenever the exam comes, what exactly you do? You take out all the books from 17 to 18 hours, you study a lot. You become a bookworm that time. So bookworm is a person who loves reading a lot. It is all about reading a lot. Okay. So what you can understand, this is something called advanced vocabs. This is something called advanced vocabs. Whenever you say, hey, I'm a party animal, look how it looks. Pretty interesting. Hey, do I have foodie, right? Yes, I love food. I'm going here and there. Oh my God, don't ask. My friend is a bookworm here. 24 hours he's studying. Hey, are you calling him to the party? He will never come. He's a bookworm. Look, the moment you are trying to use all these things, it adds beauty to your spoken English. It is all adds beauty to your spoken English. So I have given four different explanations. Let me bring the slides for you. Where there are 10 such things are there. Now this is the things I want to take. Few things I have already informed you, and the rest I want to explain it. Something called then I'll take a question. I love some things. I love good foods. I'm a foodie. I already informed you. And there are few people. Second things I did not explain you. I'm going to explain. There is something called night owl. What is night owl? Let me explain it. Like the few people they always love nightlife. They don't sleep at night. Most of the time they will stay up to 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock means 2 a.m. They always love at night and they're playing, they're singing, they're watching television. Most of people are there. Okay, it's not about they are sometimes for your exam also you stay up to night. You become a night owl. So night owl is something upon जाने picture. से रात्रि सदा देखा जाए. And throughout the day you can find that guy. The same thing happens when a person like you become all the call center workers. जो मैंने कॉल सेंटर अमेरिकन और ब्रिटिश कॉल सेंटर रे काम करती आपण जानिथिबे जो मैंने फॉरेन क्लाइंट मानक सहित इंटरेक्शन करती बेसिकली टाइम जोन अनुसार जमती अमेरिका रे राति हिथबो दिन हिथबो हमर राति एठी आपण जानिछ बा ब्रिटेन रे बे दिन हिथबो हमर एठी राति so obviously this night means for them it's day since they have to work there for them and for their client so they have to stay awake at night and they become a night owl. Night owl means a person who lately go to bed, or you can say that you are not at sleeping at all. ରାତିରେ ଯଦି ଆପଣ ନ ଶୋଇକି ଦିନ ଯାକ ଶୋଇବେ you become a night owl, right? That is something called night owl. Oh my God, this exam is around the corner. I become a night owl these days because I always like to go to bed because I have to read a lot. And some habitually there is some persons are there, no, that's their habit. They don't want to enjoy their day time at day. They always enjoy their time at night. Whenever it happens at night, basically what happens, you call them a night owl. Okay. And the next one is called early bird. What is an early bird? Is something called bird? No. Early bird is something called, there are certain persons like you might be that person, like you always wake up, at 5 o'clock before dawn. ଆପଣ ପାହାନ୍ତିଆ ପହରକୁ ଉଠି ଯାଆନ୍ତି every day. Okay. And you are taking out a good take a good bath, then you do some puja, perform some pujas like that, then you just read some things or do a gym and other things. You take out all the, so you become an early bird. Early bird means not about a early and bird, it is a different meaning altogether. So we are trying to describe a person actually, a foodie, a night owl, a early bird, right? Something called a bookworm is something called party animal. So it is we are trying to describe a person. It is all about you can say it's an adjective. You are trying to give extra information. Suppose I can say like Ashish is a foodie. That means he loves food. You can say like that was in madam. My brother is a foodie. What do you mean by that? Means foodie means loves all kind of food and he loves to taste every kind of food that is available in the cities. Okay. So something called early bird. The person who wakes up early in the morning. And there is certain person, they don't want to stay at home. They always be at the marketplace. They don't want to. Whenever they feel at home, they feel this home is a prison for them. And ଘରଟା ତାଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ତାଙ୍କୁ ଲାଗେ ଯେ ଯେମିତି ଗୋଟେ prison ଭଳିଆ, like ବନ୍ଦିଶାଳ ଭଳିଆ. They always go out. Whenever the calls come from their friends, hello Ashish, where I'm going here. I was just looking for your call. So they'll be always outside. They only come home to eat and sleep. And once they wake up from there, they just brush it up and they go outside. So that is you call outdoorsy. Outdoorsy. My friend is outdoorsy. I'm an outdoorsy. Means I don't want to stay inside. I always outside. Whenever somebody is always staying at outside, some of you might be there. So they called it outdoorsy. Okay. And something called I love soccer. Something called soccer is something called American term. I already informed you. This is the British equivalent is called football. British equivalent is called football. So whenever you say, I love cricket, I love soccer, I love kabaddi. So whenever you say, use the word enthusiast. Enthusiast. I am, look, my pronunciation, just check it out. It is something called, I'm a soccer enthusiast. I'm a cricket enthusiast. That means I love watching. I love that particular game. So I'm in a sports enthusiast like that. In a particular sports, it may be cricket, it may be football. Suppose some of you are mad at cricket. We say, I'm mad at cricket. So mad is the not right over there. You are a sports enthusiast. You can say, I'm a cricket enthusiast. Means you love cricket very much. Okay. And I'm good at music. Like, so whenever you are good at something, suppose you are good at something, there are certain people you can find it out that they are good at music. That is called I'm a musical. I'm very musical. That means you are good at music. Music you understand, like creating all the kind of tunes. Okay. And something called I love reading. I already informed you. That is means it is just like a repetition of the things. Like it's just like a bookworm. I'm a bookworm. You are a bookworm. My brother is a bookworm. Okay. And there are certain persons, they always look after their house, their home. They're decorated with all the finest things in the world. They always feel that I'm attached to this room. I have to keep it clean, and it's not about ladies. It's about gents also. They keep it. Suppose in Diwali, why did you decorate it? Because it looks attractive, beautiful, only for that. So whenever you are trying to, decorate your house, you always look after. Do you understand? Look after. Look after means যত্ন নেবা। ওড়িয়ার আমি তাকে বলছি যত্ন নেবা। It's a phrasal verb. Look after, phrasal verb, যত্ন নেবা. I always look after my parents. Hey, Ashish, you have to look after your parents. You have to look after. You are the only son. You have to look after. So look after means it is not look. It is look after. It is something called a phrasal verb. And the phrasal verb has meaning to take care. So whenever you take care of your house or home, that is called a house proud. I'm a house proud. I'm a house proud. Proud. House proud, not house proud. House proud. Okay. Love parting, I already informed you. It's a party animal. I'm a party animal because I love chilling out with my friends. Chill out, chill out. Whenever there's no bar on your dancing, you're chill out. Chill out is basically, let's go for a chill. You can understand it. Look, these are all the words that you can use right away. Moru, this now this is something called advanced vocabulary. What do you mean by advanced vocabulary? Advanced vocabulary is not about written. Look, I'm a foodie. I love food. I want to taste different kind of food. Ask me any kind of food, I can explain it. So this much of explanation, nobody is going to listen. The moment you say I'm a foodie, over. Yeah, I'm a night owl. Yeah. Don't ask me. I don't sleep throughout the night, and I always work throughout the night, and throughout the day I sleep. Who is going to listen that? Watch. Just be proactive. Just try to bring some changes in your spoken English. This is something called I'm a night owl. I'm a sports enthusiast. I'm a bookworm. Oh my god, he's a party animal. Like that. Okay. Something called I love party animal. I love watching sports, just like avid sports fan. Fan, F-A-N fan. ଆମେ କହୁଛେ ମୁଁ ହଉଛି ସଚିନର fan. ସେ ହଉଛି ମାନେ ତାର fan. ସେ ସଲମାନ ଖାନର fan. So what is fan? F-A-N fan. Fan is something called it rotates that keeps you cool in summer, right? Upon fan ଜାଣିଛୁ. But here fan means follower. Whenever somebody follows you, each and everything. Suppose how is my idol? Suppose I follow Sachin. Where is Sachin? Where is right? He's right now Goa having some food. He's my idol is right now in Goa. He's eating something. So I become a fan by looking at his games and sports and other. So you can say I'm an avid sports fan. So let me tell you, my friends, there are 5 or 6 vocabs out of the 10. I have mentioned 10, but let me tell you. First one is called fitness freak, foodie, party animal, bookworm, and something called a liver and night owl. These 5 or 6 things you have to remember. There's no other way. I've already given you. These are something called the common vocabs. You can use every day. Want to speak English? It's not about speaking. Look, let me tell you. Let me tell you, then I can take a question. Spoken English is not about speaking like the way you are speaking right now. You have to add some value. Whenever the day first you joined with, remember the day one? I was trying to take you through all the tension type because you are completely new to me. The second one, I tell you some things, then may try to tell you. So I'm making mistake. No, this is wrong, or I'm doing mistake. That time we are not able to understand. Sequences are we don't know that. Okay, fine. That part is clear. Right now, this is the vocabs part. Without vocabs, you cannot speak English. I already informed you. There is something called you have to, create a short impression in your mind. It is all about short, not about nobody is going to listen. ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଏବେ WhatsApp ଚାଲୁଛି ନା ଆପଣଙ୍କର ମେସେଜ ବକ୍ସ ଚାଲୁଛି ଆପଣଙ୍କର WhatsApp ଚାଲୁଛି नो बडी ଲୁକିଂ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ଗୋଟେ ମେସେଜ ଯଦି ଆସିଥିବ 15 ବର୍ଷ ତଳେ ଆସିଥିବ ଆପଣ ଦେଖିନଥିବେ that's for sure but WhatsApp ରେ ଆସିବ ମାନେ ଆପଣ ଦେଖ why because WhatsApp is more powerful convenient ଆଉ ତାର ମେସେଜ ଟା ଟକିନେ ଆସେ you can easily find it out who gets the message and everything is not about me and you the entire world is completely you can say mad for WhatsApp if you are not WhatsApp I do think you are not using mobile ଯେମିତି କଥା ଗୋଟେ ଆପଣ ବୁଝିପାଇଲେ so that means I mean ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଯୋଉ option ଅଛି like phone रे जो option other old option अछि that means it is something bad. Yeah, use wise it's bad. Though it's not wrong or something like that, you can say it is an essential part. But still, nobody is looking at all the OTT applications are very famous. Exactly same thing. Whenever you're trying to speak English, upon English କହିବା ପାଇଁ ଚାହୁଁଛନ୍ତି, and basically what you want, you are not using this kind of words. No, your English is not going to be that much of interesting. It's completely boring, my friends. Right? Suppose କିଛି everyday phrases ମୁଁ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ କହିବି ତ ଡେ ଫେଷ୍ଟରେ ଆପଣ ଯୋଉମାନେ ବି ଆଟେଣ୍ଡ କରିଥିଲେ ଆଉ ଯୋଉମାନେ ବି ଭିଡିଓ ଦେଖିଥିଲେ ସେମାନେ ଜାଣିଥିବେ ଯେ ଲାଇକ୍ नो this is the things that you have supposed to use. You are supposed to use that. The same way you are supposed to use this. You are not supposed to use all the big words like that. Take out any, any, suppose your favorite team player is speaking like that. Oh, I'm a very fitness freak. ତ ଆପଣ ସେଟା ଭାବୁଥିବେ କଣ ସେ କହୁଛି କିଛି ନାହିଁ ସେ ଆପଣ ସେଟା ଶୁଣୁଛନ୍ତି ଯାହା ପରେ ସେ କଣ କହୁଛି ଆପଣ ମାନେ ପାଗଳ ହେଇଯାଉଛନ୍ତି. I am not able to get it because you don't know the advanced vocabs. You are supposed to know that. Today I give you 10 vocabs. If tomorrow I'll give you 10, like that. 100 vocabs. And 100 vocabs rotate with each other most of the time. It always rotates with. It's not something called new, something called extra. It is always there. Hoodie, if you know one, you can use it every time. Something called night owl, you can use it. Early bird, outdoorsy, enthusiast, musical, bookworm, house frog, a party animal, average sportsman. I'm an average sportsman. I'm a Sachin fan. Like that, you are always. But in spite of using all such things, if you're trying to use the same way every day, it is going to create a something called, you're trying to make impression. It's all about the impression. It's all about the impression. Okay. So what I want to tell you, my friends, let's try to bring some degree of integration. You are trying to integrate this word. With a word of don't try to integrate. Try to integrate this kind of words into spoken English. Integrate Korea mane? Look, this is something called integrate Korea. Just add that is called in mathematics. It is called integration, a differentiation, like that in plus two which one science student. But integration means you are trying to mix your food, trying to integrate. It's trying to bring the kind of changes in your spoken English. Why can't you speak like this? If I can speak, you can also speak. I'm a foodie. Oh my God, he's a night out. Suppose ଆପଣଙ୍କର କିଏ ଭାଇ ଗୋଟେ ରାତି ଅନିଦ୍ରା ହଉଛି. Tell him, don't be a night owl. Is there an exam going on? No. Then why are you going a night owl? Every day he becomes a night owl. Look, the moment you are trying to use these words, it is going to add value to your spoken English, nothing else. You become an advanced speaker all of a sudden. And that's the things I'm looking for. Okay. So this is all about the class for today. I believe it is going to help you a lot. So you have any questions, you can ask. You can, you can shoot at me. What do you mean by shoot at me? Ashok sir, suppose I'll tell, it is something called shooting at me. No, shoot at me. ଯେତେବେଳେ shooting କରାଯାଏ ଆପଣ ଦେଖିଥିବେ ଗୁଳି ଗୁଡାକ ବାରମ୍ବାର ବାହାରେ. So shoot at me means you can put me questions at any point of time. Shoot at me. That's the right way. Suppose I am your manager. I am sitting in a MNC. MNC ରେ ମୁଁ ବସିଛି. MNC ମାନେ multinational company ରେ ମୁଁ ବସିଛି. Suppose Suryakant sir is my team manager. He is coming to me and he's trying to, sir, I have something to tell. Shoot at me. So ଆପଣ ଭାବୁଥିବେ କଣ shoot at me? No, this is the way that actually the native speaker speak. It is something called native speaker. It's not you and me. ଆମେ କଣ କହିବା? Yes sir, please tell me. That's anybody can tell, my friends. But how can we advance speaker? Because ମୁଁ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ପ୍ରଥମରୁ କହିଛି, there is a lot of difference between spoken and written. They are completely two things altogether. They are completely altogether different. Okay, you have to bring the changes. Okay, this is something.